were here, not this past high holidays, but the high holiday before.
You were.
Did you guys not come with?
No.
Oh. I don't remember.
2 years ago, it was in the middle of the school week.
Right.
I had the one day off.
Right.
In case Jessie doesn't show up. Oh, there she is.
Hey, let me turn.
Good.
I don't think we can hear him.
Jessie, say something?
We can hear him a little, but I don't think we can hear him.
1 second.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, Layla.
You gotta get the candles in this.
You can kind of see that?
Oh, this is not working. I don't know how we're gonna do this, honey. Might have to hold them up.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Barely. My volume's all the way up.
No.
Barely? That's not good.
How about now?
About the same.
Okay. So is that any clearer?
That's better.
Okay.
Okay. Is it clear or should I turn it up?
It needs turned up.
Okay.
Mike, we're live streaming. Do I need to go in my office?
How's that?
Better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Is that good? Is the level good? It's tinny though.
Yeah, but they won't hear that.
You're also kind of far away. That might be why I can't hear you as well.
I like the breathing sound.
I miss singing in that space.
How's that?
Much better.
Is that better?
Yes.
I gotta turn this thing down. Test 1 1 2 2. Shabbat Shalom and welcome everybody. We are here at Temple and with Yael, and we have Jessie and her family on Zoom with us, and they're going to light our Shabbat candles. So we want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. If you haven't had the opportunity yet, please add a Shabbat greeting into our chat box. And we can exchange Shabbat greetings there. And also, please plan to join us after the service for our Zoom Oneg. The link is pasted to the top of the chat box. You can join us there. So we'll begin as we invite Jessie and her family to join and light our Shabbat candles. The blessing can be found on page 2.
Remember what I told you to do with the light? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליקנם של Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, Jessie and family, and we're looking forward to having you back leading us next week. And we're going to begin on page 10 with Hine Matov. How beautiful, how wonderful it is for us to be together.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
How beautiful, how wonderful this day of Shabbat is, and how wonderful it is that we can gather in this sacred space, this online, although yet very much together, sacred space. Ma yafeh hayom.
מה יפה היום, שבת שלום. מה יפה היום, שבת שלום. שבת, שבת שלום. שבת, שבת שלום. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom.
And we turn together to page 20 as we continue and welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi.
La 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 la, lecha dodi. La 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 la, likrat kala. La 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 la, penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor, beribor echad. Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shemo tiferet, ve'litila. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 lai lechadodim, ya la 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 lai p'nei Shabbat, la 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 lai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nerchav, ki makor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshava techila. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 lechadodim, ya la 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 likrat kalam, ya la 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 p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nekavela. Hitorerim, hitorerim, ki ba'orech u'mi'urim, uri urim, shir daberim, kavod Adonai alayich nigla. Yai lai lai, ya la la lai lechadodim, ya la 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 lai likrat kalam, ya la 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 lai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha, ubzoholam, toch emuneh, am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 lai lechadodim, ya la 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 lai likrat kalam, ya la 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 lai p'nei Shabbat, p'nei Shabbat nekavela.
And on page 24, we join in perhaps a wonderful blessing for this new secular year, this year that we hope will have lots of opportunities for peace, for wholeness, for all of us. Shalom Aleichem, page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And on page 26, we join in Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'amad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, ve'imeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'alam al me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitzaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dekudesha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, ve'imeru, amen.
We turn to page 28 for Baruch. We join in Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, B'chokhma Poteach Sha'arim, Uvitvuna Meshane Itim, Umachalif Et Hazmanim, Umisader Et HaKochavim, B'mishmanotehem Barakia Kirtsono. Borei Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me, did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu, Kumenu nasiach bechukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki hem chayenu, Be'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, Ve'ahavta al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
We turn together to page 34 as we join in Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto leolam, leolam vaed. Thou shalt love thy Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be upon my heart, shall be upon thy heart. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad.
Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai. There is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom. V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Amen.
Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufiagiti latecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 svatai tiftach. Na 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 ufi agid tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 svatai tiftach. Na 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 ufi agid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atarav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunat Ato Lishene Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata L'chayot HaKol Baruch Ata Adonai Mechaye HaKol Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu Selah Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we didn't know it. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers, and there may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch Atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. And for all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch Atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha U'Lecha Na'eh Lehodot. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul. And may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki
We take a few moments and think of all those who are fighting and battling and struggling with the coronavirus, for all those who are ill and need our blessings of healing. We turn to page 253, and we think of those whose families are struggling and who they themselves need strength and healing as they help the ones who are ill. And we thank all of our medical professionals for caring for us and keeping us healthy and safe. In our congregation, there are many who are ill with a variety of illnesses, whether it's an illness of the heart, the mind, the body, the soul. If there is somebody that you would like to especially direct our prayers this evening, please mention their name in our chat box so that we can collectively, from all over, bring our energies together and wish people a refuah shlema, a complete and healthy recovery. And in our congregation, we mention Joan Harf, Francis Miller, Emily Bostwick, Fran Porras, Carol Love, Nelva Torres, Judy Bodner, Carol Golbo, Bernice Fox, Sandra French, Michael Brumberger, Sean Brumberger, Richard Sharon, Debbie Perry, Joe Waldman, Peg Plowski, Zachary Jackson, Greg Bennett, Charles Canino, Holly Arison, Eric Perry, Judith Goldman, Myrna Urkov, Scott Gordon, Dane Marcinkowski, Emma Lou Phillips, Michael Byron, and Andrea Kempner Blake. And we turn together to page 253 as we join in our blessing for healing. We take a few moments now and leave aside our prayer books and look inward. Inward to those prayers that are in our own hearts and our own minds. Those moments of silence in which we can give expression and voice to our hopes and our prayers. Some moments of silent prayer. Shabbat Shalom and a happy 2021 to everybody. First day of the year. Hope everybody had a great celebration, although safe at home, I hope, yesterday. I think it's important to, although it's not necessarily a Jewish experience, it's important because it's emblematic of a lot of Jewish tradition, because so many parts of our lives are entangled with beginnings and endings. On the Jewish calendar, we have so many holidays that signal either the beginning of a season, the end of a season, the beginning of a celebration, or perhaps the end. We have harvest festivals. In a few weeks, actually, we'll celebrate the very beginnings of that harvest, the very beginnings of that growth of new trees in Tu B'Shvat. And then we'll have our spring holidays of Purim and then Pesach, and that tells us that winter's over and we're looking forward towards spring. Our Torah readings also help us with the passage of time, and this week we are reading Vayechi, the very last chapters of the book of Genesis, and we'll conclude the book and the readings, and if we were here together at services, we would say, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek, may we be strong, and in our strength we give strength to each other. And we need strength these days. It's not easy. You know, those very ends of the book of Genesis tells the ending of some important characters. It is at this point in the story that Jacob is now well advanced in years. He has lived with his brothers in the land of Egypt, with his sons rather in the land of Egypt, and he has called his beloved Joseph to his side. And Joseph brings with him his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, to visit their grandfather on what could be their final visit. Now, Joseph has taken on this persona of an Egyptian. He dresses like one. He has an Egyptian name. He has embraced being an Egyptian, and it has allowed him to provide for his family and to provide a place for his father and his brothers to be successful and to live. And yet, he no longer feels necessarily part of their world, but he wants that for his sons. For his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. And so he says to his father, look, this is who I am, but bless my sons in my place. And so Jacob offers the blessing that was probably intended for Joseph, and he offers it to Ephraim and Manasseh. And the way he does it is Joseph brings the two forward, the elder on his right, the younger on his left, and says the elder should get the prime blessing. And Jacob says, in a rejection of generations of deception and continued intrigue and problems, he goes against all of that and he says, no, we're going to do this upfront and honestly. And he says, the younger is more deserving and is more of a leader than the older, and so the younger will get the blessing. And in that moment, he ends 4 generations of successive deception that have happened throughout the text. Ultimately, Joseph dies. And as the text says, when Jacob finished his instructions to his sons, he drew his feet onto the bed, and breathing his last, he was gathered to his people. Ultimately, he is returned to the land of Israel, and Joseph makes sure that he is buried in the land of his ancestors. And he does it in both a Israelite way and an Egyptian way. He has his father embalmed, which is unique and not within Jewish tradition at all. And yet, Joseph has a need to do this because it's who he has become. And yet he also brings his father back to the ancestral burial grounds. And as the portion fills its end or sees its end, we also say goodbye to Joseph. He too extracts a promise from his family. He says, "When you leave Egypt, take me with you." Giving us the clear idea and hope that at some point they will leave Egypt, which is temporary, and come back to the land of Israel. Beginnings and endings. And today, as we begin this new secular year, it's certainly been a year like no other. We've endured unbelievable challenges. And yet, like our ancestors, we have gone into this Egypt, this unknown land, and we have found success. We have found success in our ability to continue to be a congregation here in this sacred space online, virtually. We found success of learning together, of learning Torah together on Saturday mornings, of figuring out how we can support each other. And we see the light at the end of that tunnel. You know, this 2021 promises to be a good year, a year filled with many blessings. Blessings, perhaps, of vaccines that will enable us to return to the way in which we'd like to practice, of coming together in person. And we hope that we can, and we can do it soon. And for now, we'll continue to share our lives in this way, to share our moments, to celebrate our moments, to send support and be supportive of each other in these times. So I'm deeply thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here together with all of you and the opportunity to create different ways that we can continue to work together and to learn together and to pray together. So we wish you all a wonderful, healthy, and happy secular year, and looking forward to a time where we can be together and also continue to have our experiences here in this virtual space, but have both. Be able to have both at the same time. And I want to say thank you to Yael for leading our service, and thank you to Jesse and family for lighting our candles. And we are going to continue with Aleinu on page 282.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption is what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach, it's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action, it brings meaning to our days. Aleinu leshabeach, it's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision, we are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply, there's a broken world to raise. Aleinu leshabeach, it's time to live our praise. Aleinu leshabeach, it's time to live our praise.
We call to mind now those who have died in this season in years past. Our friends, our family, those who our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We're in the period of Shloshim for Virginia Imhoff, Bruce Whitmershouse's aunt, and so we extend condolences to Janice and to Bruce on your loss. And we're also in the period of Shiva for Michael Leibovich, and we observe the following yahrzeits on this Shabbat of Peter Baker, Harold Kramer, George Cooperman, Samuel Kahn, Meyer Gutman, Esther Wolof, Millie Meyer, David Davis, Harry Eisenberg, Shirley Spector, Alice Seymour, Solomon Aroheim, Alice Benjamin Schwartz, Bertha Strauss-Glauberg, Henrietta Strasburger, David Joel Mandel, and Daniel Jacob Rubin. If you have other names that you would like to add, please add them into our chat box as we turn to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon u'vyom echon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach la'alam u'lameh almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who grants peace in the high and distant heights grant peace for us, for all Israel, for all the world. And we say, amen.
Amen.
There are a few announcements this evening. Services tonight were dedicated to the memory of David Joel Mandel and Shirley Spector, and any donations that were made to our flower fund were used to provide our electronic messaging and our visuals for during this difficult time. Again, please join us for our Shabbat Zoom Oneg right after services. It is pinned to the very top of the chat box. You can find the link there. Hope that you'll all join us. Tomorrow morning, we'll join together at 11 a.m. as we dive into that very last chapters of the book of Genesis and those blessings that our forefathers gave as they were about to depart this world. Sunday, we have no Gesher classes, and Wednesday, no Insight to Judaism classes yet. They will all resume the following week. And reminder that the temple office will be closed until January 4th and will resume regular hours then. If you didn't get a chance to order your Hanukkah t-shirt and you want one, you still can. So you can go to the online store and they're still available there, but only until January 17th, and then you'll have to wait till next year. And if you are looking for an opportunity to spread some good and tzedakah, we are still in our Kaleidoscope fundraiser. The Erie nonprofit provides services to those on the autism spectrum, and so we hope that you will contribute and see if we can help them with their wish list. Good. Okay. This evening, I thought that we could end with a song that isn't in our books, but one that you might know, called B'Tselem Elohim, talking about the concept that we are all created, all of us, in the image of God, no matter if we are of any race or flavor or person, we are all created, all of us, in that beautiful image of God.
Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 We all got a life to live. We all got a gift to give. Just open your heart and let it out. We all got a piece to bring. We all got a song to sing. Just open up your heart and let it out. Yeah, when I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. We all got a tale to tell. We all want to speak it well. Just open up your heart and let it out. We all got a mountain to climb. We all got a truth to find. Just open up your heart and let it out. Yeah, when I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. All our hopes and all our dreams. Breshit bara Elohim. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. All our hopes and all our dreams. Breshit bara Elohim. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, when I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim.
Shabbat Shalom, happy 2021. We'll see you in a few minutes on Zoom at our own egg. Shabbat Shalom.